Hey guys, welcome back to Electrical Car Repair Live. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing to the channel. Today will be super helpful video guys to any of you having a Kia Sportage, Kia Sorento with a 2.4 GDI engine guys. And if you need to remove the valve cover to replace it or remove the valve cover to work on your engine, stay with us, we'll explain everything from start to finish guys. Very helpful information that can save you quite a bit of money. So all that will be covered in this video today. So this should work on Kia Sportage and Kia Sorento different years. For instance, they start using it in early 2012 all the way to 2016-17 depending on the market guys. That's a 2.4 GDI engine. So before we start, let me introduce you to the channel. Every single car we get at the garage guys, we take them completely apart and we make at least 200 to 300 free repair videos. Why we do all that? Simply because our mission in the shop is to save you as much money as we can. All we need in return, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, that way we can keep providing this free information to you. Also guys, if you want to buy parts or tools for a really good price and quick shipping as well, check out the link in the description of the video below and you can see where we get all our tools and parts from. Specifically, this is an engine out of a 2013 Kia that we'll be demonstrating on. And with that being said, okay, if you have a Kia guys or other vehicle, check our main channel Auto Repair guys. We have videos that have helped more than 120 million people guys, that can save you thousands of dollars. So let's start on it now. So this right here guys is a 2.4 GDI engine. We have it out of the vehicle with the cooling system, everything the way it comes from the vehicle, so we can clearly show with great detail okay what we're going to do, and we'll be having videos about rebuilding that engine and fixing almost anything on it. For any of you that ask me guys in the comment section below, recently we've been getting quite a bit of response comments to what do we recommend for diagnostics on these modern vehicles. That's the one that we use daily guys. It works on Kia and almost any car you can think of. Okay, let me just exit and I will show you right here. It's amazing too, that can pay itself off in one-time use. Check out the link in the description of the video below if you want to check the current price and the functions. Number one, we need to remove the upper engine cover. Grab and pull it out. It attaches okay to these 4 posts right here. What do you need to do next guys, okay, in order to remove the upper valve cover? You will need to disconnect your car battery. Let's explain why. Because you'll be dealing with the fuel pump here as well. You need to remove the high pressure fuel pump. So disconnecting the car battery can reduce the risk of catching your vehicle on fire. Also work on the engine when it's completely cold. On these modern cars, it matters which battery terminal you disconnect and reconnect first. If you do it wrong, you can cause damage to the engine computer and the electrical system. So if you don't know which battery terminal to disconnect first, we have a special video that explains that, and we'll put the link in the description of the video below. Once you do that, okay, we're going to disconnect the vacuum hose coming out of the valve cover, okay, right here. Perfect. Another one, okay, that we have, okay, we need to disconnect the Pcv hose right here. Great. Next, you have the fuel line right here, the low pressure fuel line. If you don't know how to disconnect it, we have a special video that explains that on Warren Mechanics, how to disconnect fuel line. For the high pressure fuel line, 3/4 inch wrench, you'll be under pressure. Always wear gloves and eye protection. Why we don't ask guys, but you should. Okay, disconnect that. Okay, you disconnect that fuel volume sensor right here. Okay, great, just like that. And what you need to do now, okay, 10mm socket, and we need to slowly remove the pump a little bit on each side. You grab that fuel pump and it comes out. I recommend to inspect your tappet right here, the cam follower, because that's a weak spot on those sometimes, and that can develop an engine noise and rattle as well. So we'll get it out, okay, to inspect it later. Next, we need to disconnect that wiring harness that goes to the exhaust variable timing solenoid. We need to disconnect the wiring harness from the upper valve cover. Okay, perfect, like that. What we need to do next, we need to remove the ignition coils, so that those gray things, okay, check this thing out. You need to pull them all the way to the back, then you press in the middle, okay, and you disconnect it. So we do that to all 4 ignition coils guys. Okay, so 10mm socket, we're going to disconnect that wiring harness that goes to the high pressure fuel pump. So that's what we're doing now. Okay, great. What else, guys? Now this one we can flip it, okay, on the side so it's out of the way. At that point, okay, we need to remove the ignition coils. 10mm socket, just remove the bolt on each ignition coil. 4 bolts, 4 ignition coils, or the other way around. 4 ignition coils, 4 bolts. Then you can just simply grab the ignition coil, okay, and pull them out. At that point, most of the final work is done. Now we need to remove, I think, 22 bolts, quite a few bolts, guys, for the valve cover. So we're going to start, okay, with the ones in the middle. Let's start here. Okay, you have bolts that some people easily forget, and one of them is hard to miss. This side right there. Okay, here this one, and we go to the outside. So now we're just removing all of the bolts. Make sure you don't drop anything in the high pressure fuel pump hole there, because you'll go directly in the camshaft and that can cause engine damage. And careful not to drop your bolts too. Alright, you grab each one of the bolts, easily remove them, because if they fall you can easily lose them as well. We have 2 more for the fuel pump right here that we need to remove. Okay, and this one too. Now we have 2 more that we need to remove right here. Perfect. Now you will leak some oil out, be prepared. Ours been sitting for a while, so we won't have so much engine oil up here. Need to pull a little bit of room, okay, to get it out gently. Okay. Okay, perfect. This is, guys, the valve cover gasket. That's what the engine looks like as well. So this is, guys, the valve cover. Every time you remove it, it's recommended to install a new valve cover gasket. Don't forget the one for the spark plugs, because if that fails, you will start getting engine oil in the spark plugs, and that can cause quite a bit of trouble and misfires and make your car unpredictable to where you can even get in a crash. So always replace the outside valve cover gasket, you can see, and don't forget this one as well. Now right here, if you look at it, okay, right here you will need to clean all the silicone where the timing cover meets the cylinder head. The same thing applies to the back side. Clean it really good, scrape it, make sure it's nice, even, smooth, it's not dirty. Wipe everything to make sure you don't have any contamination. What we use usually, rubbing alcohol, okay, and we clean everything really good. Clean the valve cover itself once you remove the gasket. Before you install the new gasket, put the new gasket and seal everything back in, otherwise you can easily develop a leak when you install it. So that's how you guys remove the valve cover. Hopefully the video will be helpful. Thank you for watching and see you guys next time.